shot again. That's the body shot.
It's the left hook to the body, Ward's money punch, and this knockdown counts.
And he is hurt.
This is it. He's not going to recover. It's not like a head punch.
He may not be able to recover.
I don't think so.
Gotti Ward, you know what I'm saying? That shit will bring a teardrop to your eye, man.
Yes, yes.
They try to get Ward off of him and lands another big shot.
Burton, did Ward punch himself out for the time being with that tremendous barrage in the first minute? Just look at this.
Unbelievable.
I was like, that's going to be fight of the year. Because if you know boxing, you know this guy is going to take a step, this guy's going to take a step back, and neither one of them are skilled enough, talented enough to get away from each other and completely wash him.
That's where he needs to go to the body. You know, you dream of fights like this, but very seldom do they live up to the expectation. This is even more than you can dream of.
I got love for all sides. But right about now,
We gonna start it off in the Bellator, man. We haven't really talked about these guys in a while. But AJ McGee and Pitbull fought not each other for the third time, separate. But even though AJ McGee was the co-main event, I think a lot of people showed up because of him. You know, it was in his hometown, and he's the favorite guy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like him. So this was his first fight at the 155-pound lightweight division, and he looked good, man. He went in there and he didn't get the guy out, but he looked good. He dominated him the complete fight. You know, bloodied up his face, took him down, tried to submission him, but couldn't get it. But he looked good. He looked real good.
I don't know how to comment on it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I missed that one.
Yeah, man. He had 2 big fights with Pitbull. Pitbull's a good guy. He was the main event. You know, like I said, even though he was the main event, I think a lot of people showed up for AJ. So I'm kind of curious to see where AJ goes from here. You know, he could take a third fight, which would probably be the biggest fight in Bellator right now for AJ. You know, money wise, or he could go in another tournament. But AJ McGee, man, he's a beast in there. He's a beast, man. You know, so kind of interested to see where he goes from there. But let's go over the boxing, man. So I'm not sure if you know, but today, guys, Big Baby Miller is fighting. Not to get that confused with Big Baby Anderson. Big Baby Miller. Future tie here. That fight actually got canceled. Reason why is apparently there was a lot of Russian fighters on that card and they couldn't make it out of the country, so the fight got canceled. He was supposed to fight Elizner Tete. A nobody, right? Hopefully, there's been a lot of rumors that's been going around. Hopefully, he gets to fight the fight that maybe more fans want to see, which would be against Lucas Brown. Lucas Brown looking pretty good off of his last couple of knockout wins. So, Jarrell Miller, Lucas Brown, hopefully in the future. But this fight got canceled. This is his third fight of the year, man. Third fight of the year. He fought in July. He fought in, I think he fought in June too. But yeah, this is his third fight. And for all those who don't remember Big Baby Miller, he was supposed to have his biggest fight against Anthony Joshua. But ahead of that fight, he got caught with PEDs. So he got suspended and, came back 2 years later and got suspended again for the same shit. So that's why we haven't seen him for 4 years. 4 years this man been out of the ring. And this is his third fight this year, trying to, out of sight, out of mind. That's how a lot of things are, especially in boxing. But now he's trying to get back in the spotlight. What do you think about that?
Never really been a Big Baby Miller fan. Jarrell Anderson, I'm a fan of. Big Baby Miller to me, maybe even a B- fighter.
Yeah.
And this is not to really disrespect him, because he's actually a good fighter, but physical limitations. I don't think he has really good defense. He doesn't have exceptional power, and physically, he's not really built athletically. So it's almost like he's a lesser version, a whacker version of Luis Ortiz.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he's a whacker version of Luis King Kong Ortiz. At least Luis King Kong Ortiz has a super high IQ and boxing skills. The only thing is he's physically limited too. Big, strong guy, has that 1 KO power, plus highly intelligent in there. I don't really see it with Big Baby Miller. Doesn't have a lot of defense, doesn't have super head movement, fights with his hands down. You can fight with your hands down if you're athletically gifted and can pull it off.
Right.
Wilder is a super tall guy, super big, not in terms of weight, but super tall. These guys can get away with fighting their hands down. Big Baby Miller, I don't see it. Plus, he doesn't have that exceptional power. Not a fan. Not a fan.
Well, I would have to agree on the power. You know, I think he's like 22 KOs for like 26 fights. He has power. He's built tough, but he's a heavy guy. He comes in around 300 plus like every single fight. I never really seen him wobbly, never seen him hurt. So I think he has that going for him. But let me just give you what he has. Like you said, kind of limited. He's 6'4", he's 34 years old, but he comes in usually like 335, 340 pounds. I can't really see him with the top guys. He missed his chance with AJ. That would have proved that, you know, he could have been there with those guys. But again, he's trying to make a comeback. And hey, maybe he could fight for the big baby name, supremacy. He could fight Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson is much lighter. He's a lighter heavyweight. He's about 240, 250, but he's 22 years old and he's the same height. He's the same exact height. They both 6'4". They just built different.
Yeah, I like Jared Anderson. I think if they fought, you said you never seen Miller wobble, you will. That's for sure. That's for sure. I got Jared Anderson winning that fight, probably by knockout.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I can't see it going past 8. For one, he's a good fighter though. You know, but his size, it's not like I'm saying he's a scrub. It's just for being that big, you have to have something. You know, George Foreman was never that big, though they called him Big George. Big George for that time was big, but he had to equalize it. If he touched you, it was over. That's not really the case with Big Baby Miller. You know, got decent hand speed for being that big, but it's not exceptional. So if you're not an exceptional athlete, you don't have exceptional power, you better be an exceptional boxer. He's not. He's good.
Oh, hey.
Nah, this is an honest thing. It's not even a rip him. I think he's a New Yorker.
He's a Brooklyn bred New Yorker.
Oh yeah, I definitely don't want to run into him then. But what I'm saying is all honest though. It's an honest assessment of him. It's not like I'm shitting on him. It's being real. Where you talked about with AJ, I don't think he even had the hand speed to really catch up to a guy like AJ. AJ's big, man. AJ's got to be like 6'6" plus 2 something plus with 8 plus power. If AJ touches you, you're usually out of it.
Right. I mean, again, that was a fight that we all wanted to see. Didn't happen because, PEDs got in the way. Hopefully, Big Baby Miller learned his lesson. He got caught twice in boxing, once in kickboxing. So I think another one in boxing and he's out of here. So hopefully he learned his lesson. And, we'll see what he does, in the later part of his career. Again, he's 34 years old. He's not young. He lost 4 years with PEDs.
Yo, with that being said, though, man,
4 years.
The golden era was before our time. Those guys were exceptionally high IQ fighters. Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali, you could go on for days on those guys.
Sure.
A different era. So you don't need to be super high IQ. You don't have. You can go longer in your career. Right now, we see Joe Joyce, who's older. The Chinese guy, I don't know his name, but he's older. He's got to be like 39. And the reason for that is because even the younger generation of boxers aren't super high IQ, so they give a chance to an older fighter to catch him and keep up with him. We look at a fighter like Luis Ortiz, who fought recently.
Yeah.
He's a better boxer than Andy Ruiz. He was. He beat Andy Ruiz anytime he didn't get caught, but he just was an older guy who couldn't sustain it. Super high IQ for Luis Ortiz.
Yeah, of course.
This era is different. You know, you can be a lot older than in previous years. You know, previous years, you got in there with a young bull, it was over.
So with that being said, what is Big Baby Miller's future look like to you? Do you think he still got something left? Because again, lost 4 years. He's 34 now. How much more you think he got?
Not really a super huge name in boxing. He's not. The other Jared Anderson has already surpassed him. Excuse me, the other Big Baby's already surpassed him, which is Jared Anderson. I think his biggest thing he could hope for is to become an opponent, to become a gatekeeper, and hopefully get a shot for one of these young guys to step on him to propel the game, and hopefully he takes them out. Yeah, I can. All right, just a prime example. I can't see him beating Joe Joyce.
Oh, I think that'd be one hell of a fight, though.
I do think so too, because Joe is super slow, high in chin, but at least he's got the jab, steady forward, come forward, big guy. It would be hard for me to see Big Baby Miller stopping him, but that's a type of fighter that's tailor-made for him, you know? Right. He's not gonna go anywhere, he's not gonna move, super straightforward. But yeah, I think he needs the hope for catching lightning in the bottom, man. You know, catching one of these guys on the rise. But I can't see him beating any of the top dudes.
Yeah, I you know, he really derailed his career, but you know, let's see what he does with the later half of it. So let's wrap it up with the fight that everybody is waiting for, which is Errol Spence against Terrence Crawford. Now, there's been a lot of blame on both sides, from the media, from fans, from both teams. So, you know, first it was just like Terrence signed a contract, now we're waiting on Earl. Then you start hearing about, well, PBC wants to make sure that this guy, Daniel Cunningham, who's known to be an Irish drug cartel, wasn't involved in any part of this fight because, you know, he's been involved with Terrence Crawford in the past, you know, because he's also a boxing promoter. They want to make sure that he wasn't involved. Also, now you're hearing that Terrence Crawford wants some type of contract transparency with certain things in a contract. So we're hearing a lot of blame for both sides. The only thing that I feel like I could confirm or we could confirm here, it's probably not going to take place in November because we're getting a little close to that date. It's already October. I don't see that fight being made in November. It might have to be pushed back to December or maybe January 1st. I mean, in January next year.
I don't remember the fighter's name, but I remember him telling me wasn't a very known fighter. He was, you know, a couple wins and losses on his record. I don't think he had more than 10 fights. But he told me fights are usually won within the contracts. Posturing thing of, you know, a lot of stuff, and you don't want to be the one getting fucked in the contract. So I could understand that. The only thing is,
if you're the B side, you're the B side. You know, you already know what it is.
I get that. Yeah. I totally get that. And I think both guys got to put their ego aside because this isn't just one mega fight. This is a legacy fight, and it could be a multiple payday fight. If no one wins decisively, guess what? We get another one.
Right.
And if that one's close, we get a trilogy. So it doesn't matter if you're the A side or the B side. You got to be thinking, not only am I doing something for my legacy, I'm doing something for my family. I'm going to get paid 3 times more than any other event that I could possibly do. To me, those two fighters going against each other, there is no other fight that those guys can do against each other to make that type of payday. So you gotta make the fight happen and just make sure in the contract, yo, we got rematch clauses. You know what I'm saying? So we can get in there and do it again.
I mean, I understand. I feel you. I'm a fan too. But when you're a fighter and, you know, you're saying, hey, put your ego aside, sometimes that's hard to do. And I know this is kind of going, you know, off course, but now let's say Devin Haney wins the second fight with Kambosos, which I think he does. Let's say the next fight after that is Devin Haney and Tank. Now, Tank could be like, I bring the people. I make the money. People love seeing me. I pay-per-view. And Devin could be like, well, I got all the belts. So setting your ego aside is hard to do when you're an actual fighter because they both really have claim to be the A side. Both of them do. So, you know, setting your ego aside is easier said than done, but there needs to be some type of middle ground where, you know, everybody gets what they want, the fighters and the fans and the promotion. But, you know, easier said than done. Easier said than done.